Well, hello everyone. My name is Mitchell and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I'm out here walking this morning on a beautiful Sunday, enjoying the nature as you can see behind me. And just wanted to take a moment to welcome you to my channel and invite you to hit the subscribe button. Just to explain a little bit about what my channel is going to be about and what I'm up to. So a couple months ago, I embarked on a new journey to begin living a much better lifestyle, healthier lifestyle. However, what I'm doing, in my opinion, is not exactly what I guess one would call like a normal diet or anything like that. Although I started out by doing ketosis, and as I kept pressing in a little more and more, one of my passive mentors, Kirby Lanarol from Wow Church in Sri Lanka, I began kind of going back to some of those roots, and if you do a quick Google search on him or a YouTube search, you'll come across some things. And one of the popular things that he was kind of popular for a few years ago was Breatharian lifestyle, which, if you've never heard of that term, Breatharian, there's many different definitions, I guess you would say, depending on who you ask. And if you do a YouTube video on Breatharianism, you will find people trying to debunk it. But basically the theory is this, that a breatharian lives solely off of their breath, and they get their nutrients and vitamins and all those wonderful stuff, their energy, just from the air around them. And that is true to an extent. However, for Kirby Lanarol, that's not the entirety of it. So you'll find people like trying to debunk breatharianism and say that, you know, they ate a meal or they cheated or whatever. And again, depending on who you ask, depends on, you know, the definition I'll give you. But the one that I like the best of breatharianism is reducing your food intake and using and utilizing other energy sources besides just food. And so what I've began to do is to practice not only ketosis, which is when your body runs out of glycogen from carbohydrates. Your body, over a period of time, goes into a process called ketosis, and it begins to burn ketones for fuel, which is the breakdown of fatty acids. Fatty acids, which is basically you're burning fat for fuel. And as you go on past ketosis, you get into another energy source called autophagy. And those are the three primary fuel sources. And so there's a couple others. There's endocrine and biophotons, but I'll get into all that later. But anyways, wanted to welcome you to my channel and just let you know that, you know, there are some things I'm going to say probably that's going to be extremely controversial. I am a born-again Christian. I do believe in Christ. And I consider myself, I like to say, not a breatharian, but I like the term Ruacharian or Numinarian. You probably won't find those if you Google it. That's kind of a term that I kind of made up. The word Ruach is a Hebrew word that means breath of God, or wind, spirit, breath, Ruach. And then in the Greek, the word for breath of God or wind, spirit is pneuma, which is where we get the word pneumonia from. It has to do with the lungs and the air. So a numinarian, one that lives off the breath of God, or a ruacharian, one that lives off the breath of God, life of God. And so one of the things that I'm going to be documenting, and as you can see, I'm out walking this morning and actually been doing some jogging. You're going to see me making different videos on my process and fasting. One of the things that I would like to be able to do is to get down to eating maybe one meal a week. And I know that sounds completely bizarre, and I'm not really fasting for religious purposes, so to speak. Because I know in the Bible it says, you know, if you're going to fast, that don't be like the hypocrites do and go in the public streets and announce to everybody that I'm fasting. Or in today's culture, it would be, you know, God would say, don't go on YouTube and proclaim to everybody that you're fasting so they'll feel sorry for you or whatever, you know. So I'm not fasting in the sense for a religious purpose. However, there is a spiritual application to why I'm fasting. This is more for my health. And so I am a total believer that sugar is poison, especially in its processed form, which is 99% of where our sugar comes from today. And I'm by no means saying that carbohydrates is a bad fuel source, but I want to be able to utilize the various fuel sources and energy sources that I have available to me rather than just totally running off carbohydrates 100% of the time. I want to get past carbohydrates and get into ketosis, which is what I've been for the last month and a half. And as I fast, you know, really it takes about 48 hours of fasting for one to get into the process of autophagy, A-U-T-O-P-H-A-G-Y. And autophagy basically is when your body not only is burning fat for fuel, but begins to burn damaged cells and turn those for fuel. So you're literally taking damaged cells in your body and your body is burning them for fuel. And so it's kind of a win-win situation. And then there's a couple other fuel sources that's called endocrine, where we get our word endocrinology. But endocrine and biophotons, which I'll talk about those later. But anyways, welcome to my channel. My name is Mitchell. I'm going to be documenting the whole shebang. I invite you to follow me, subscribe, like, share, and share with me your journey. And I'm a cancer survivor. 10 years ago, I beat cancer with a stem cell transplant. And long story short, I allowed my body just to go back to eating junk and crap. Got up to about 260 pounds. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I was up to 315 pounds. After I had my transplant, I got down to about 225, which is a couple pounds more where I am right now. Right now, I'm at 223. And when I started this journey of ketosis and whatnot, I was started at around 256, and now I'm down to 223. So you do the math on that. That's about a month and a half in. And so what I'm going to be doing is working my way up on fasting. And I've fasted successfully for 48 hours at a time, a couple times. Over the last week or so, I've only been eating one meal a day. So fasting 24 hours and eating a meal, which I guess you would call intermittent fasting. And we'll talk about that later on. But nonetheless, I don't want to hold you up. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hit the subscribe button if you will. Like, comment, tell me what you like, what you don't like. Tell me what you're doing. And if you want to come along with me on this journey, I say come along beside me. I'm not asking for followers. I'm not trying to start up this health channel or you know, Mitchell's Fitness like everyone does. Although I'm not against that, that's cool. But I just want to invite you to come along beside me. Not behind me or in front of me, but beside me. And let's share in this process and let's go from one realm to another, one dimension to another. Let's jump in the deep end of the pool, if you will. So thanks. Talk to you soon.